Hey, good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to episode number 5 of Find Your Inspiration, Share Your Inspiration. I am honored to have one of my closest friends, Antoine Bates, here with me today. We've known each other almost 20 years. I have told you guys I have four best friends. The number four is literally in order of precedence since I've known them, not in order of priority or seniority or love for my friends. Just want to get him on here, kind of share his story, talk about our friendship, talk about his life and what he wants to share, and kind of get it out there, who he is, and go from there. But it's an honor, it's a pleasure. You're one of my closest friends. You've saved my ass on more than one occasion, keeping me out of trouble and from doing dumb things. So I just want to say thank you and I appreciate you. Um, so go ahead, Tony. Let's get it going.
Yeah, no, I appreciate you having me on here. It's definitely an honor and privilege to be here today, to sit here and give him some crap about the last 20 years of friendship. But I wouldn't change it for the world. Definitely the brother that every person needs in their life, and also the one that kind of keeps us both sanity checked and kind of across the board. So happy to be here and ready to kick this thing off.
Yeah. So, the premise of the show is really telling your story, who you are, where you're from,
Yeah.
how you got here, right? Like, I've heard your story. I think it's a unique one, different from others, but similar. And those similarities and those differences, maybe somebody can find something out of there that you share that kind of helps them understand where they need to go next, right?
Yeah.
Like, being from Cleveland, Ohio, high school, tell the story. Like, I know you had some stumbles and whatnot on the way up to where you are today, but I
Yeah.
mean, your trajectory is just amazing, and I think it's important to get that out there.
Yeah, so I mean, kind of like you said, like for those that are out there, I was born and raised in Cleveland, Ohio. Some of us out there call it Thieveland, but it's what I call home. Uh, uh, it holds a special place in my heart. Cleveland is a special place, but it has its ups and downs, its pitfalls. Um, I moved around Cleveland a lot growing up. Ended up, finally graduating from Bedford Heights High School. But I've lived in a variety of places there around the city.
Mm-hmm.
I've lived in Garfield Heights, Cliffview, 105 and St. Clair, Warrensville, Bedford, uh, just a lot of different places there in the city. And I'll tell you, it wasn't the best all the time. Um, and I was a knucklehead growing up, as you know. My parents
Facts.
kicked me out the house at I was either 14 or 15. Um, I ended up moving in with different family members. I was homeless for a little bit, slept on the street for a couple days until I could kind of figure it out, and then moved around in order to find some place that was at least somewhat stable for me prior to me joining the service. And I had a lot of pitfalls. Barely graduated high school. When my parents kicked me out, I ended up, I guess, settling down at my aunt's house, who lived across the street from my grandmother, and off of 105 in St. Clair. But my parents were, at the time, that transitioned over to living in Bedford, which is kind of like a suburb of Cleveland. And I used to have to catch the bus in the morning, the 40, uh, off of Lakeview down to Bedford High School every single day. And it was a dangerous track because I had to carry a knife with me so I wouldn't get kidnapped or murdered on the way out. Um, I experienced a lot of different things. Grew up in the game a little bit, saw a lot of different things. Growing up out there in Cleveland, but the person that kind of got me going was my grandmother.
Mm-hmm.
She when she kind of realized what I was trying to go through, because all of her previous, or at least the older grandchildren above me, they had all dropped out of high school, and she took a vested interest in making sure that I wasn't the guy that was going to do that. So, she really kind of took me in. I used to, once she figured out what was kind of going on, she would have me drive her to work in the morning and give me her car, and I would drive her to school my junior and senior year. So that way she made sure I was going.
Yeah.
And when I would leave school, I would come back and pick her up until I ended up graduating. And I was a knucklehead, man. Like I my first 2 years in high school, I did everything except for study. And so going into my junior year, my counselor told me, he was like, "Hey man, you're not gonna graduate. You're gonna have to go to day school, night school, and summer school in order to graduate on time." And so my grandmother made me promise that I would do that. So I did. I went to day school, night school, and summer school for 2 years just to graduate with like a 1.7 GPA, which was the bare minimum to graduate the high school at the time. But I did that to make sure that I stayed on track. I worked odd jobs, did landscaping, did carpentry, did all those types of things, kind of growing up. But realized that at some point I was not going to be able to be of value to society if I had stayed in Cleveland.
Yeah, fair.
One of my best friends, Kevin Henderson, he had joined the Marine Corps the year before I graduated. And I'm telling you, man, when he came back and I saw what he had become, I was like, I want to be that. I want to do that. And surprisingly, because they brainwash you in boot camp. He was like, "You're not good enough. You can't join my Marine Corps." I was like, "Ain't this about nothing?"
Yeah.
And so I went down to the recruiting station. I told him to take me down there, and I ended up enlisting, and I did pretty well. Graduated out of one of the 4 undergraduates out of boot camp. Enlisted September 11th, 2000.
Oh wow.
Yeah, that date obviously it resonates pretty hard here in America. So, but went out there, joined right out of high school to try and get out. Hit the bare minimum requirements for just about everything, just to be able to get in. I don't think I needed any waivers, but if I had any, the recruiter never told me. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but I joined shortly thereafter. Looking at my, I had 2 brothers and a sister. My older brother, I got a lot of older cousins and younger cousins. No one was really doing anything, and I just realized that just wasn't the thing for me. So I decided to take the leap and go try and do something different. I knew I wasn't going to be good in college, at least at that time.
Yeah.
I didn't want my parents to have to, take out a bunch of loans to pay for school or pay for something that I wasn't going to be good at to begin with. So, I enlisted right at 18 and left and went off to good old Parris Island, North Carolina. And then I thought I was actually going in, believe it or not, to be a legal clerk, because at one point I wanted to be a lawyer. And I didn't realize that I was on what was called an open contract.
They got you with that.
They got me with that. They got me hard because I thought I was going in to be legal, but the contract was like it's open. You can be legal or admin, not legal admin administration. So I ended up being going administration. Got told I was going administration anyways, but
0111, you made it.
0111 made it. Well, back then it was 01. It was 0151.
Okay.
They had 2 MOS in the administration, 0151, 0121. But they eventually merged MOSs later on to 0111. And but yeah, I enlisted and I did pretty good. I out of graduate pretty much out of everything that I did. Joined the Marine Corps. I think my first duty station was 29 Palms, and I almost went UA the first day I got there. I kid you not. Yeah, because I got there at nighttime, and so you see this base, you don't realize that it's in the desert. There's nothing out there, and I remember checking in, and we were living in these old shelter half, kind of like squad bay type things, and I was like, man, I guess this could be okay. And then the sun came up, and I realized I was literally in the desert, and I'm like, I'm a city boy, I'm not doing this. So I started packing my bags and started headed toward the first gate. But I had some good NCOs and some other Marines there. They're like, hey man, we'll go to Vegas this weekend. Give it a shot before you ruin your life here. End up having the police, military police come looking for you. And I did. It turned out to be okay. It's probably one of the best places I could be, because you got an opportunity to go to Vegas and Palm Springs and
Yeah.
LA and stuff like that, and places I had never been or even heard of, and so on and so forth. So it was okay. But yeah, I spent my first year there. Ended up lucking out. One of the things I think a lot of people, they join the service for, they want to travel, they want to get away from the atmospherics and the environment that they're in. Yeah. And I got an opportunity to go overseas. I said, hey, man, I'll take it. So I went to Germany for 3 years. Man.
I bet that was the story.
Man, it was amazing. I can't talk about everything that happened over there in Germany here, but just know that it was a great time and a great exposure for me as a young man to go out there and live unfiltered in Europe for 3 years.
That's fair.
That's fair. It was a good time.
Pre-Facebook, pre-cell phone cameras.
Oh, man, I'm telling you, if they had that stuff there, I don't know if I'd be sitting here today.
That's fair.
Yeah,
that's fair.
But it was a good time. I went through there and started to kind of refine who I was. I think growing into maturing as a man, and there were some inherent struggles there. I mean, obviously, in everything that we do, but I think it was a good time. And after my 3 years out there, I decided I had some good accolades while I was out there. I was meritoriously promoted. I applied to be an officer while I was out there. Got selected.
Okay.
And then did the thing that no one thought I would ever do, was to go to college. And I did that, and it's probably one of the proudest moments of my life, because everyone expected that the guy who was going to fail and couldn't succeed in anything was succeeding at life.
Yeah.
And don't get me wrong, I could have done it without a lot of people around me, like sheltering, mentoring, captivating, keeping me on the right track. But I left there. I was like, man, I'm going to college. I'm taking another step. First one out of my grandmother's grandchildren to go, and I ended up going to the University of Houston. I didn't want to be there forever though, so I did an accelerated program. I did the same thing all over again. I went to day college, night college, summer college, winter college. I was out of there in a year and a half.
Oh wow!
I was done, because I had done a little bit of college while I was in Germany too, and the military stuff kind of transfers over. And so I was done, graduated, commissioned as a lieutenant. I guess it was 2007. Mm-hmm. I've been in about 7 years at that point, and went off to start the track as a Marine Corps officer, which had its own inherent struggles. Because a lot of people say, "Oh, it's prior enlisted. You know what you're getting yourself into." It's like, no,
the hell you don't.
You don't.
No, you
don't, man.
No.
The officer side is so different than the enlisted side.
Yes.
I'll tell you, it was crazy to get there, and how much you have to know, how much you have to learn. Part of the reason why I wanted to become an officer, because I was always told officers don't do anything.
Yeah, that's not true.
That's not true at all.
Yeah, that's right.
I found myself on Fridays, usually in the office till 10 o'clock at night as a lieutenant. I'm like, everybody else went home at 12. Why am I still here? I'm like, for somebody that told me that we don't do anything, man, they were totally lying. Because I seem to work twice as hard now and twice as long as everybody else. But no, I became an intelligence officer though, ground intelligence. And for those who don't know, like, you're essentially a glorified infantry officer. That's supposed to be smart. I'm neither of those. Went through the basic school, went through infantry officer's course, became an infantry officer, and then went to sniper school, went to intel school, and a couple different planning seminars, and then out to the 1st Marine Division shortly thereafter, and that's where I cut my initial time, at least as an officer, in first 1st Marine Division. I did 2 units out there, 2-4, 2nd time 4th Marines, and 1st time 5th Marines, and a couple deployments into both of those. And that's actually where we met.
Yeah,
And
I was just about to mention that.
second battalion for the Marines.
Yeah, the Magnificent Bastards.
Bag bags all day.
Yeah,
and I remember I just checked into the battalion, and I was the assistant intelligence officer, and I was working late, and you were working late.
Yep.
And you came up to the office, you're like, "Yo, what's up?" I'm like, "What's up?" He's like, "Yeah, I'm the 4. Everybody hates me." I'm like, "Yep, got it." He's like, "Yeah, but my name is Rod from Louisiana, from Slidell. What you got going on? Married? Got kids?" I'm like, "Nah, I ain't married. I ain't got no kids." He's like, "Yeah, I got a crazy wife. I got a little man, and yeah, let's hang out."
Yeah. That's
pretty much. That's no kicking.
Yeah. Facts.
And for those of you that know that there's not a person that Rod doesn't know. There's not a friend that he can't make. When he walks in a room, everyone immediately becomes his friend. He has that personality. I don't have that personality. I got to get to know you a little bit. He can sit down and light up a room where I'm just kind of like I'll fade into the background until I'm comfortable. But we were. We were young lieutenants out there at 2-4. I had the S2 Alpha position for a little bit. I got a CAD right after that.
Yep.
The Combined Armor Team, Weapons Company. We deployed together.
Yep.
On the MEU.
Yep.
And then we got back, and I was living with you for a little bit.
Yeah, you did. Maybe about 3-4 months, something like that.
Yeah, living with you. And then I ended up transferring over to 1st Battalion 5th Marines for another deployment. I forgot where you went.
I left shortly after and went to Marine Force Reserve headquarters in New Orleans. So I was back home, down in New Orleans at Marforez in the G4, like the logistics cell. So it was, it was a hell of a transition coming from Cali.
Yeah.
And I had the offer to stay to go on the next deployment, and we were supposed to go back on the MEU. And they were like, "Hey, Rod, stay and be the 4." I was like, "Absolutely not. I'm not getting back on the ship for a while."
Yep.
And then next thing you know, they went to Afghanistan instead. I was sorely disappointed not to have gone, but such is life.
Yeah, well, I ended up going.
You did?
I did. I went with a different unit.
Yes.
1-5.
Yes.
And I went to Sangan, and it was an interesting deployment. I didn't make it all the way through the deployment. Ended up getting injured.
Yep.
And stepped on an IED, got blown to smithereens, and lost my left leg below the knee. A lot of other injuries, left arm, extreme trauma, right leg, extreme trauma, shrapnel all over the body, the whole 9 yards. And I remember when I got injured, them calling me. I don't know if I got the story right, but you were in a school in Camp Lejeune.
Yep.
And as I was getting medevac from Afghanistan to Bethesda, Maryland, I think my mom called you.
Yeah.
And
I remember Mama Bates calling.
Yep. And you're like, "Hey, I'm in this school, but I'm on my way." And I think you told the instructor I'm going to go see my friend. This is where I'll be at. And you can fail me from the course or not, but I'm going to be here. Somehow you passed the course. Yeah. And somehow you still got a certificate, but you showed up at Walter Reed, and you took care of me and my family, and you helped them navigate, those things. You almost got me kicked out of the hospital too. No. I'm not going to tell you what you did because I don't want to incriminate it, but you almost got me kicked out of the hospital too.
It wasn't that bad.
But got me in trouble. But I went through the recovery process. They did an experimental surgery on me, which allowed me to keep my left arm. I was supposed to be a triple amputee. I ended up only being a single below the knee amputee. They did the surgery that at the time was experimental. Now it's standard practice today. But they would keep my right leg and my left arm, and they picked me up and put me back together. So I did 3 years there, extensive rehab. Still continued to serve while I was up there under the what's called the Wounded Warrior Regiment. Did some jobs up there, and then Yeah, I went back out to the fleet. I decided to stay in the Marine Corps.
We got to stop right there, though.
Yeah.
The first 15 minutes of you being in the hospital, you were trying to tell people what to do and how to fucking do it, as well as trying to task people out. And as soon as you had like surgery number 1 and you were in your wheelchair, initially you started rolling around the hospital and checking on Marines and other service members who were in there and making sure they were good while you were still infirmed yourself.
Yeah.
Which is a testament to you, right? Like you got there, you literally were rolling around the hospital telling people what to do, telling them, hey, if that nurse isn't doing what she's supposed to do or that doctor, you let me know and I'm gonna have their ass. Those are the conversations you were having from a fucking wheelchair in the hospital at Bethesda, Walter Reed. So like, let's not just glaze over that part, you know. And that was also the time when I really got to meet your family, you know, aunts, uncles, mom, dad. When I tell you this man's family is amazing from the perspective of they came in force and just surrounded him and supported him. And my role in that was very minimal. He says I did a lot. I literally told them, take notes, write down names of everybody, keep a log book so you can manage the chaos, because it's going to come fast and heavy, and they're going to tell you things and ask you questions and tell you to make decisions without giving you time to process. So I literally told them, just, hey, apply the tourniquet, ask questions, write down, take notes. Nothing needs to be a rush unless it's life-saving procedure type stuff. And none of it was life-saving at the time. It was limb-saving, and they were trying to get him to make some serious decisions. So it was good. And I met Mama Bates, I met Grandma, I met, damn near the whole family came down from Cleveland to Bethesda to check in on you. And I was up there. I came up with my, with the fam. I had spent time with you, coming in, checking on you. And at that time, you talk about you continue to serve. No. They were trying to get him to retire from the Marine Corps medically. And he was like, I think I can still go. Mind you, we don't know if he's going to walk again, let alone like any TBI. If all his body parts are functioning, I'll let you take that one and process anything. He was fine. Everything works. He's got kids. He's got a family. He's doing well. But at that time, all these things were in the air as a question. And your perseverance and stubbornness is what kept your ass in and still in today. And mind you, at that time, he had died 3 times. They brought his ass back. He died 3 times. And he's like, yeah. I just kept serving. No. You did a lot more than just keep serving. You held the line, you did your job, and in every opportunity you found a way to get a new job. Shortly thereafter, when you did start getting more mobility, you became the XO or the CO of the Wounded Warrior, like the Wounded Warrior detachment. Like, talk about that a little bit. Just give them the highlights.
Yeah, I mean, I did. As I was going through there, actually, I'll go back. I hit a dark spell, and my father, who was there with me, he kind of brought me out of it, because I had started doing a bunch of stuff that probably wasn't conducive to anything functional in a society. I'd kind of given up on a couple different areas, and I remember my father sitting me down and saying, in peacetime, children bury their parents, but in wartime, parents bury their children. And he was lucky that I was given an opportunity, a second opportunity, because in most cases, without the medical technology that we have today, I probably would have passed away.
Facts.
At which point my parents would have buried me, as a young officer, young individual, young man, you have to decide what that's going to be for you, what that's going to look like, whether you're going to stay in a wheelchair, whether you're going to walk again, whether you're going to run again, what your capabilities and limitations are. But whatever you decide, just know that what you're doing right now, which essentially was playing video games, eating unhealthy food all day long, drinking, sitting in the room, doing nothing, wallowing in my own despair, He's like, I promise you that'll kill you faster than any bomb will.
Facts.
So I kind of got myself together. Opportunity presented itself for me to go work on the staff, so I did. I took over as the executive officer for the company that was up there. Eventually took over as a commanding officer once I was able to kind of get up a little bit more mobile, and I finished my time there as an operations officer. And one of the things that I did want to impart, particularly on the service members, not just the Marines, but also the soldiers, sailors, airmen, Coast Guardmen that were up there, was that we got a second chance. There was a lot of people that didn't get a second chance. So we got to make the best of it. And I think living and doing right, being virtuous, being honorable in the things that we do as we move forward,
right,
is the best way to honor those fallen service members' memory. And so that's what I've been trying to do. Ever since 2011, since I got injured there. Mentor those guys, understanding that in the grand scheme of things, particularly now, looking back, I've really only had one bad day and it wasn't that bad.
Still here.
Still here. And it's all about perspective. And I don't necessarily want to, take away someone else's perspective and say that life doesn't suck, but it's like, hey, I'm more of a glass half full guy now.
Yeah.
100%. Like, it's okay to have a bad day. It's what we do with it that makes us who we are, particularly as young men. So, as service members in general.
Right.
But I spent a lot of time and created a passion for just helping service members kind of work through some of those issues and then give back, to the service, which is part of the reason why I decided to stay in. I was offered the opportunity to medically retire. I chose not to. But just be an example of, hey, I've been through all these things and I'm still here.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, no, that's a grand example. Like, legitimately, it's a testament to who you are as a person, as a man, as a father and husband. He's a husband, dedicated, awesome. I didn't just gain a sister-in-law, I gained a sister, amazing human being. So, and you picked well, you definitely classed up.
Definitely classed up. She's definitely better than me in so many ways. I got really lucky with her and just kind of how she operates and how she moves and how she speaks life into the people around her. I got, 2 amazing children. And they're absolutely a reflection of both of us, more her than me, which I hope is a good thing.
They may have a shopping problem.
They might have a shopping problem.
That's not a big issue.
Yeah.
That's why you just got to get more money later.
Right, you just got to make more. Particularly for my daughter, because she's gonna break somebody's heart one day.
Yeah, she's a lot.
Yeah, she's a lot. But yeah, no, I mean it was, stayed in and I got a chance to go to school, so I went to school and then got an opportunity to go back to Europe.
Yes.
So I took that, I hopped on that. I went back to Italy for a couple years and then back here to the States. And so, I took all the hard jobs that I could take, which created an amount of stress that I wouldn't put on anybody. But at the end of it, but myself. But at the end of it, like, it worked out. I think I became a better person, a lot more resilient, and as I've grown, I wasn't as angry anymore about, particularly today, as when things happen, because I've been through so much.
That's fair.
It's perspective. It's perspective. It's like, it's not that big a deal. And got an opportunity again to serve back overseas in UAE.
That is an awesome place.
Amazing place. Did that, and now I'm back here. Got another opportunity to go to school again. So I'm going to do that. After, I didn't say this earlier, we got to being married now. We just hit our 10-year mark.
Oh wow.
Looking back at everything, it's been a whirlwind. I mean, you think about some of the chaos that I've experienced throughout my life. Like the first time I was in a gunfight, I was 9 years old.
Yeah.
You know, I got bullied as a kid. I barely graduated high school. To sitting where I'm sitting now, who would have thought? And I guarantee you, if you'd asked me as a young 16 or 17 or 18-year-old, you think you'd be sitting where you are today, I'd have laughed you out of the room. I could barely read.
That's fair. That's fair. Your administrivia shows very much the difference between what you come from to now is amazing.
Yeah, it's crazy, but through all of it, I think the most important thing is that you got to understand resilience and what that really means. I think you got to put God first in everything that you do.
Absolutely.
We can't do this without God. You got to be willing to let go and give it all to Him, and then you got to be willing to help the people around you and help pull them up as well.
Absolutely.
Because you never know what people are going to turn into.
Right.
I got people I've served with now that are CEOs of companies.
Right.
That still call and say, man, if you hadn't given me an opportunity, I don't think I'd be here. I mean, I don't know if I gave you an opportunity, I'd just chewed you out, but
sure.
Try to set you straight. But whatever works,
right?
Whatever works.
Right.
And so it's just been, now looking back, 26 years.
It's crazy.
My entire adult life has been committed to service, and it's been great. I've met people and created friendships and partnerships that are going to be there past my kids.
Yeah.
My children's children, our children's children, our family, right?
Yeah.
Because of the things that and the relationships that we built. So it's just been an absolutely amazing time, an amazing story. Every adventure, every single day is a new day that I'm looking forward to. So that's kind of me, I guess, overall in a nutshell. I've been through a lot, and I'm still here. I'm still going.
No, man, that's. I mean, I'm always amazed at the journey and the stories, man. We talked about the upbringing coming from Cleveland, what you did, what you didn't do, how you righted the ship. Like, what made you change? Like, was it the promise to your grandmother? Was it like, you know what, I don't want to be like everybody else. I want to make a difference. What made you pick your direction? Like, it sounds like the two key points were grandma said, hey, I'll help you. Even though you're living with your aunt right next door across the street, I'll help you get where you want to be. And that friend coming back from Marine Corps boot camp telling you you're not good enough to make it. Like, what steeled your resolve at that point to get to this to where you are now?
I'd say it's a combination of all of it, right? Like, growing up, it's very easy to become the environment that you're in.
Facts.
It is. And I remember walking around and looking around and just seeing, like, everyone's doing the same thing. Everyone's miserable.
Yeah. Unfortunately.
This rhetoric of, you're never going to make it. It was crazy because it started inside the family.
Yeah.
Yeah. And this all you can be is, someone that works in fast food, and you ought to be happy. There's nothing wrong with that, but, like, is there more? And I started to look at the struggles of everyone around them and say, okay, there's got to be something different. There's got to be something more to this. And I've always been a very, I guess, inquisitive person. And with that, I guess, and the promise to my grandmother that, another one of her grandchildren wasn't going to drop out of high school.
Yeah.
I said, okay, I'm going to try something different. And this is coming from, my grandfather, he had a third grade education.
Yeah.
Right? My father, incredibly intelligent, graduated high school at 16, but he took a career in the water department. And my mother, she kind of worked her way up, on the political side with a guy by the name of Irby Turner, who's a clerk of courts. Supporting his staff, supporting his team the last 25 plus years, and so it was just something that I did not want to become the story that everyone heard.
Yeah.
Right. Like, hey, we know how this goes. You're gonna drop out of high school. You're gonna be a drug dealer. You're gonna go to jail. You're gonna get low-end jobs. You're gonna drink yourself to death. You're gonna have a bunch of kids out of wedlock, and your life is gonna look the same at 50 as it did at 18.
Right.
Right.
It's fair.
And I didn't want that. And so when my friend Kevin came along, and I saw the change in him, because he was a bigger knucklehead than me.
Got it.
Like, just complete idiot. just oh man, he was crazy. But when he came back, and I saw the change, I said, okay, I want that.
Yeah.
I want the
It's
respect.
possible.
It's possible. If he can do it, I damn sure can do it.
Right. Right. That's fair.
And obviously it's had a profound effect on my life. But I knew that I couldn't stay in the environment that I was in and expect any level of peace in my life.
Yeah.
Because I had a lot, growing up. Cleveland's a hard city. I love Cleveland to death. Man, it's a hard city.
Yeah.
It's just a hard city to grow up in, particularly if you're a minority. It's hard. And so when you start looking at, what are the options, what are the opportunities that are out there, a lot of them get overshadowed by the people who didn't take those opportunities. And you're surrounded by people.
Yeah, negativity.
Who are negative and are saying, no, you're never going to make it. Like, you need to focus on doing something else and say, man, what if I could do actually something else?
Yeah.
And so I did that, and it's panned out pretty well.
Yeah.
It's panned out pretty well. And now it's just about giving it back and paying it back for, to the people that also might be looking at their environment and saying, hey, I can't do it. It's weird. As I kind of, think about the one example that I did set, when I left and went to the military, and my younger cousins, 7, 8 years younger than me, when they saw the output, most of them started doing the same thing because they saw something different.
Yes.
So when they graduated high school, I had one go to the Air Force, I had a couple of them go to the Army, I had a couple younger cousins go to the Navy. My nephew now is in the Air Force.
Yeah, I was just about to mention him.
Yeah, my nephew's in the Air Force now. I got another young one saying, hey, when I graduate, I'm gonna go to the Coast Guard. And I'm not saying everybody should go join the Marines. I'm just saying, like, hey, there's a different opportunity, and they've seen what I've been able to do in that example, and almost all of them have come back and said, like, we did this because we saw what you did.
Absolutely.
And they didn't all stick around me. I've been doing this 26 years, but they did their 4, some did 8, and they got out, but they're all better off, and they're all doing better than where they were. So that example, that one tide lifts all boats.
Yeah.
It's relevant today, and I think that for us that are in those situations, sometimes just being a living example of what could be is more than fantasizing about it. You be it every single day.
Yeah.
And when people see what you're doing, they'll naturally look at it and say, okay, let me try a different path. And it may not be the path that I've taken, right? But it'll be something different than what they know.
Yeah.
Inside of the 4 blocks that they're living in.
That's fair.
Yeah.
The exposure is everything.
It is.
Just seeing something different, doing something different, going somewhere different, getting out of that environment is big.
Yeah.
And you doing those things, giving that example, being that North Star at a minimum for the family and family members, showing them that opportunity. It's probably made huge impacts.
Yeah.
And you know, though you may not know it, they are looking at you the same way. And I know they've told you in other instances you may or may not have heard it, but I mean, you're always going back home. You're always taking care of family. You're about to hit a family reunion in the coming days or so.
Yeah.
You know, you've got things that you always engage with, and you're always there for your family, and they're always there for you.
Yeah.
And it shows. It's a reflection. Like
Yeah.
your mother and father, you know, even though you're a knucklehead or were, your mother and father poured that life into you and that energy, and it has paid back tenfold, if not more. You know what I mean? Like, and we always say, you know, we quote the Bible, the power of life and death is in the tongue.
Yeah.
And like, when you started speaking that life into it, it made a huge impact. You know, just like you said, your wife does it. Just like you said, you started to do it. You started to change the narrative for yourself and believing you could do something different by seeing that example of a friend that changed or made a change, even if it was just that 5-minute interaction after they came back from boot camp. You know, they drank the Kool-Aid, believed the hype, and you said, you know what, this is something that'll help me change, and I need that environmental change. And I to be honest with you, I mean, I did say that was very similar to my story. I wasn't as much of a knucklehead from the perspective. I was hard-headed, and I did a lot of dumb stuff.
It's like the actual definition of a knucklehead, though.
Well, yeah.
Like
But that's not the point here. That's not the point. You're not gonna do me like that. That's not what we're doing right now. But what I meant was, I was on track to graduate on time, on track to do all, and I was like, I'm gonna go be a lawyer. And my goal was, the reason I say it that way is like, I was gonna graduate. I was good. I was on track to graduate. I was like, I'm gonna go to college. I'm gonna be a lawyer. That was the goal. And I didn't take the circuitous route, but I took the circuitous route from the perspective of, I had no clue about the military until a friend of mine was like, hey, go see this recruiter. You said, I know you're going to college. How you gonna pay for it? I was like, shit, I don't know.
Yeah.
I was like,
yeah.
I guess I'm gonna take some student loans. I'm gonna figure it out. He was like, man, go talk to this recruiter and figure it out. They help pay for college. I was like, okay. Went and talked to a recruiter. He was like, I don't know if you'll be able to make it. I was like, hold my beer, watch this. And here I am. You know, I did 26 years as well.
Yeah.
And, you know, it was a circuitous route to get to the officer path and do those things. But, you know, when I got there, it ended up well in track for the dynamic. Because as they say, we shouldn't be here relative. And that's only because we thought we shouldn't be here.
Right.
It's just like when you don't think you're supposed to be in that room, in that conversation, or if you don't show up, you'll never be in it. If you don't believe you're going to be in it, then you will not be in it. You know what I mean? Like, if you would have given up at Walter Reed Bethesda, you may not be here today.
Right.
And it's that I believe in myself. I'm trying. The prayer, the giving it to God, letting it go. I mean, we talked about it, dog. Like, at one point, you were like, I don't know if I will be able to walk. I don't know if they're going to let me keep my arm. I don't know if this is going to take. How many skin grafts did you have that
Man,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, all this stuff that happened, and you're just like, nah, I'm going to just keep showing up. Keep showing up.
Going.
I ain't got no choice.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Then you're like, man, how I'm going to figure out this, navigate life, you know, and you know, at one point you're like, I'm never getting married. I'll be single for life.
Yeah.
And then one day, shortly thereafter, this beautiful young woman walked into your office, and you were like,
"That's gonna be my wife."
Yep, I remember you saying that.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, all right.
Yeah.
I've never heard outside of your ex from way back when, before her.
Yeah.
That's the only woman I've ever heard you talk about.
Yeah.
And then to meet your wife and you like not hyping it up, but you talking about her from that perspective, it was a game changer.
Yeah.
It was very different.
Yeah.
And I was surprised. So when y'all did meet, when y'all did get to it, I was like, oh, okay, this is for real. So, you know, you believed, you held the course, and you made it happen. And that was the part that I was like, it just amazed me to see you do what you do and get to where you needed to be.
Yeah.
I'm proud of you, brother. I am humbled watching you continue on in the core, make the moves you've made, get through all the trials and tribulations that you've gone through, and then still being here, staying the course, taking care of the family, doing the things you got to do. I just can't say enough about how much of an impact it's made on all the people you touch. Period.
Man,
you know, I mean, hell, when I came back from UAE, you were in UAE.
Yeah.
And you were like, I was like, man, I'm going through this divorce stuff. I got to figure out a place to stay. I got to figure out the next steps and moves. You were like, you can stay with the family. You'll be fine. Don't worry about it. We'll focus on your transition out of the service and retire. And you gave me a place to stay and took care of me, looking after me in a way that I couldn't even imagine or ask for any other time. So like you give without expectations. You pour into people without want, need, or anything. And that's just you as a person. That's always been you since I met you. But it takes a while for you to warm up to somebody because you don't like people.
I don't.
You know what I'm saying? And
I
somehow...
I just want to stay in the house.
yeah, facts. Fair point.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
there's good people out there. You got to be okay to go meet them. But but you know the other thing is I learned a lot from you and just kind of how you're able to naturally kind of bring people together. So that's a skill and a talent that is very unique to you. And it's also kind of weird that we were both looking to try and be lawyers, and we both went different paths.
Right.
Trying to talk ourselves out of it.
Right.
But no, man, it's been an absolute honor and privilege being your brother the last 20 plus years. And man, I just can't wait to see what happens next. See what happens over the next 20.
Yes, the story is not over. We got a while to be here. I already told you I plan to make it to 150.
Man.
And who's coming with me is the real question.
Right.
So you better stick around for at least another 40 or 50 because we got time to burn.
Oh, yeah.
Nah, man. I will cut it there. Unless you got anything else you want to say, what do you want to leave with the people? We'll have to resume at another time because I know you got things to do and places to be. So if there's a parting word, parting shot you got, hit them with it.
Yeah, just no matter what comes your way, like, don't give up. It builds character, talent. Hard work has always been talent when talent won't work hard. So never give up on anything that you believe in. Be okay with changing directions. You never know where God's going to take you, and the thing that you thought that you might want to do might not be the thing that you need to be or need to do as we go through life. So continue to roll with the punches. If someone knocks you down, I'll do all the cliches. Make sure you get back up, but make sure you get back up with purpose, right? Make sure you get back up, learning from the mistakes that got you knocked down in the first place. And on that, I appreciate you as always, and hopefully we'll be back on here again. Yeah,
I'll definitely have you back on. We'll definitely get the rest of the story because there's a lot more parts to it that he was humble enough to leave out. But I'll tell you, we'll draw a little bit more out of it in the conversation in the future. But I'm super proud of you. I'm honored to be your friend in this long time that we've been hanging out. You putting up with me and my gregarious nature and mischievous ways at times, as well as just the way we do business, man. You know, it doesn't matter if we talk every day or if we talk once a year. It picks up like we never left off. You know, so I appreciate you. I love you. Continue to be great. Continue to move the dial in what you do and how you do it. Because I like I said, I'm proud to be your friend, and I'm just proud to watch your journey. You know, you still wear the cloth of a warrior, and I do not. You know, it was one of those hard transitions, and that is life. But all good things must come to an end, and my time is done. But yours is not, and your story is not done being written. Though you may say or count yourself out at times, I don't think your story is over. Yeah. So continue to be great, brother. I love you.
Same with you, man.
All right, man.
All right.